what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, as I like to say, another Saturday. Another Saturday. Wet. I don't know. It's wet, cold. What is it outside? I don't know anymore. It's a different temperature, different weather, other than it's been dry, although apparently not today. But we need it. We need it. But yeah, welcome. Welcome to the show. You know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation coming at you live from Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Oh, just don't know what to do. I'm drawing a blank today. But I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show. Trying to think of something. I've been thinking for a couple days just of what to talk about today. I know I talk about a lot. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of always talking roofing, but that's what I do. But at the same point in time, I was trying to think of something to make it a little more interesting during the show, other than just going, well, you put a nail there, and you put a nail there. There's more to it than that, at least for me. But having said all that, I guess I'll figure out something to talk about. But I hope you're having a great Saturday. And last week's show got a lot of compliments on that. A lot of people text me and liked the information. And I want to remind you, if you missed last week's show, you can go to YouTube, search a standard conversation, and boom, or I say search a standard conversation at the symbol, the symbol at a standard conversation, all one word, or search RTM Roofing Nashville, and you'll find our YouTube site, and you'll catch the whole show. And if you don't want to watch the whole show, you can catch a bunch of reels or shorts or whatever they call them nowadays. But a lot of those that come out of it with little bits of 1 minute or under on average information that we grab out of the show. And something like that. Yeah, again, today I just don't know. Maybe everybody else is like that. It's a crazy world out there right now. Oh, well, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I got to give a shout out. To Jason McKinnon. I got to run into him this last weekend, and I hadn't seen him in a while, so I'm going to give him and Joe a good shout out. And let's see what else have I got there. I've just got to look at my notes. I did do a little cat scratch today. I'm sorry for being so scattered, but I just don't know what to talk about today. I guess I don't know, sit there and talk to myself. It just sounds crazy, but normally I've got 3 or 4 or 5 things I run into, but that's what's different about this show. Maybe I just got an inspiration. I do call this an old school Seinfeld episode. It's a show about nothing until I turn it into something. And today we're just going to turn it into something. It's literally a blank canvas other than just a couple notes. But I wanted to remind you that if it's time for your annual roof inspection, call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page. You don't have to click anything. Just scroll to the bottom, fill out the contact card. You will get a scheduled date for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, and now home insulation needs, especially attic insulation. I don't get into walls, but we get into attics. We usually see a lot of attics. So I thought that would be a good thing for us to jump into, and we're getting a lot of calls on that and starting to get a lot of you taken care of on that. I'm telling you, there is energy savings if you're below a certain R value, and a lot of you are that have older attics. Now, those of you just got, 5-year-old roofs, 5-year-old homes, your insulation should be good, I would think. I've not been in a 5-year-old home in a while to check, but I wouldn't imagine it'd be drastically down yet. But if you've got a 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s home, that's who I'm looking for. That's when you need to get up and measure your insulation. And that's what we do. We get up and see what you've got, how much you've got. Then we tell you what you should have, or maybe you're there. Hey, maybe it's all working perfectly. But we've ran into a few that, R38's 13 and a half inches. Don't quote me. I'm just sitting here going off the cuff. But I'm pretty sure it is for blown in insulation. And a lot that we've been jumping into been like 4 inches of insulation, 6, 5, well under a foot. They're down in the lower ranges, which means you're not getting the insulation protection you deserve. And that's why, in my opinion, your bills are higher, because heat is going to go out the top or come in from the top. It's starting to come in now, unless it was this past weekend when it got cold again. And that's going to squirrel me to another thing. Yeah, I put some tomato plants out early. Yes, I did. Yeah, it was windy that day too. It was windy. I think it was Friday. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It says 45. They can take it. It gets them a little bit, but they can take it. Well, they got a little colder than that. But they're still here. They're still here, much like all my house plants. If you can live in my house, you're a tough person. You're a tough plant. But nevertheless, yeah, I put them out early, and here we go again. I was looking at the weather for next week, and lots of rain coming. Lots of rain. That's going to show you eventually if you've got a problem or not. And that's why I always advise getting your roof inspected. Get it inspected annually. And there's no time like the present, because I have a feeling May is going to be wetter than April. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it seems like everything's just behind a little bit. And having said that, that's a good time to get your inspection right now. Now, we can't come out when it's raining. Well, at least I'm not going to get on your roof when it's raining. But at the same point in time, it's not going to rain every day. And, before it starts leaking in, it costs you money to paint your ceilings. I'm looking up at mine because I've actually got a stain on my studio here right now. It's killing me. Yes, I got a metal roof. We do metal. I'm not going to get here and get on the metal kick again, but it's a screw up there. I'll guarantee you, because I got a metal panel. And, yeah, it was here when I bought it, but otherwise I'd put a shingle on it. But my point is that it just popped up, and I'm looking at it right now, and that's just, unless I'm going to paint this whole ceiling, it's going to cost me money that I shouldn't have had to pay if I would have inspected my roof, which I haven't inspected this one. It was last year. I'm overdue for one right now, and there it is. There's my prime example. Oh, yeah. So don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. Don't put it off. I always crack up whenever you're doing what you do. And for me, it's roofing. And I'm out and I'm inspecting people's homes. And when I'm on your property, I'm looking at everything. I'm like, hey, this is going to cause an issue. This is going to cause an issue. Or, hey, that's great. That's in a good spot right now. Don't worry about that. It's pluses and minuses, but I'm doing it, because that's what I do. Well, no one likes doing what they do when they come home. Yeah, and I've been pushing off, and it's been great weather, and I've been sitting here preaching it from my soapbox. Get your inspection. Before this happens, and I'll be dadgum, I'm looking up right now. It's a stain. I recognize it. So, yeah, that now I'm going to paint my ceiling. I've been wanting to paint in here for a while anyways. That sort of gives me an excuse. At least I'm going to roll with that. But if I wasn't going to paint it, then it's going to cost me this room, I'd say $700-800, $900 once they tape off and do everything that I probably won't do when I paint. Oh yeah, say $800, $900. It's a pretty good little size room here. So yeah, that's just money that's wasted. That should have been spent. That kind of money should have been spent on touching up my screws on this roof, which I didn't do. I'm gonna keep going over that, but. And I've got some notes down here that say protection from what? What is RTM Roofing trying to protect you from? What's your roof trying to protect you from? Well, it's the elements, number one, but primarily it's water. The wind. We've had our windows open at days during this week and some, well, not much last weekend, but at the same point in time, that doesn't bother anything. Until it gets 80, 90, 100, 110 mile an hour. Then we start dealing with your roof. But it's the water. That's the protection. And that always leads me to, what shingle would you put on, Chad? Well, thank you, Bob. I'd put on IKO Dynasty. Why? Because to me, it's the best bang for the buck for wind protection in this market. Does that mean all these other shingles and brands out here are not? No, they do what they do. But I can only put one brand, one style at a time on your roof. We're certified in 4 brands. I do talk about that a lot. Certified in IKO, in Atlas, in CertainTeed, and Owens Corning. That's what we're certified in. Now, can we install other brands? Sure we can. Do I like to? No, I don't. Not that we can't, because I wouldn't. That's not my top 4. And I'm not going to have a top 12. Yeah. It's about wind protection in this market. That's the key. Hail's going to, unless you get a class 4 shingle, which still can be impacted by specific enough sizes of hail, or 150 mile an hour wind driven hail. Don't quote me on that number. But my point is that wind is your worst enemy here to lift your shingles off of the main weather we have. And usually when wind comes, it brings water, which leaves stains. Now, when the water comes or the rain comes, it's not always windy. So again, what are we trying to protect you from is water entry. That's what RTM Roofing does. I should have named it Watered Ink. Keep you unwatered. That's our goal. And we do a pretty good job of it. I got to give props to my team. They're an amazing group of people. And they work hard and to the best of their ability, do what's right. Try to do it every time exactly like it should be. And that's what we do. And you stay dry. Yeah. Hopefully you are today. You're listening to Renovation Nation live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yeah, you know what time it is. We'll come back and see you in 3. Hey, this is Chad with RTM Roofing and host of Renovation Nation. RTM Roofing's commercial division is looking for you. Are you a property manager? Do you own the building? Are you the business owner? You tired of leaks? You tired of chasing leaks? Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out the contact card, and let us help you out. And you know we're back. And you know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Every Saturday here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if you missed this show, you can catch it on YouTube at A Standard Conversation. Just type in at A Standard Conversation, all one word. We've got every show we've done up this year. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've been batting 1,000 this year. And, yeah, we're back. I'm telling you, it's one of these days today. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I really do appreciate you listening to the show. We was coming in off that last segment a little bit, talking about, what does RTM Roofing protect you from? Well, it's the water. It's the water. We can, and the wind, and a little bit of hail, maybe, but, we do roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, and now home attic insulation. So yeah, we try to keep all of that dry or moving water where it's supposed to go. And the only way you know if your complete home building system, building envelope, as Jamie Oldham always calls it, what's up, Jamie, that hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And if it is, that's great. That's great. You can go on back about your business. But if it's not, you need to do something, or it's just going to cost you more money. I guess that's the theme of the show today. More money. More money. It seems like everything's more money nowadays, which reminds me that, price increase is coming in May. And I have a feeling that's probably not going to be the first one this year based off of current world situations, because shingles are made from, oil. Petroleum based. So that's what actually repels your water. And I was talking about IKO earlier. That's my number one shingle brand. The number one style of that shingle I like is the IKO Dynasty. And, it's made with asphalt and granules and some filler stuff. It's in the asphalt, but the asphalt is your water protection. And the thickness of Atlas is pretty comparable compared to the others. Now, what's the definition of comparable? I'll say reasonable, but it is thicker than certain other brands. I can tell you that. And I can tell you by weight, they can only get so many pallets on a truck, or they can get multiple pallets of others. I can also tell you about IKO that they use the metric system. So you get 100 square feet in 3 bundles. All other English systems, all other brands that use the English system, the math we grew up on, it's just a little shy of 100%. You can search it, Google it. So I respect IKO about that. And I also respect about IKO, especially the Dynasty shingle. Now, I've installed a lot of Cambridge. That's level 1. Level 2, really, I'd skip a couple levels and go to level 3 to 4, is the Dynasty. And then you get up into class 4 and all of that. But for the thousands of shingles, tens of thousands probably, of shingles we repair a year, and definitely have repaired over the last few years, tens of thousands of shingles of all brands, except IKO Dynasty, I've only had to replace 8 shingles from any damage, any kind of wind damage. Now, hail's a different story. Hail's going to get a lot of stuff like I talk about all the time, but when it comes to wind, 8. And I've not nailed it. RTM has put on, I really got to go look and add up the square foot. But I'd say it's close to, I'm going to say 1 million square feet, but of Dynasty alone. I know we have over 9 years now, 8 years that we've been doing Dynasty. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to research that. I'm actually going to write that down. And I'm going to research that and come back with that next week, because I can't gather it before the end of the show, I don't think. If I do, I'll get it. For my vast staff, hello? Yeah, they're not here. But put on a lot of IKO Dynasty. Put on a lot of Atlas and Certainty and some Owens Corning. But mainly Dynasty, IKO. And that's 95% of what we do. 8 shingles. And we warranty our work for 5 years. And the 8 shingles that blew off, I didn't even go to IKO to file a claim. It was a windstorm. I mean, did it hit 130-something miles an hour or whatever? I don't know. I wasn't doing that. I just took care of our clients. Went back, and we always leave a bundle of shingles, or at least what's left of a bundle, depending on what is left at the end of the job, with the client. So it matches their shingles when stuff like this should happen. But I've only had to use 8. It blows my mind. I mean, even as much as I like IKO, you would assume there would still be a lot more failures, but just on average, it's statistics. But we put a lot on, and it's still there. So I've got it, and that's why it's on my roof and my office roof. But, yeah, so I got to back it up. What are we protecting you from? The water. What are we protecting it with? Well, number first one I'm going to tell you is IKO Dynasty. The second one I'll tell you will be Atlas Pinnacle. And then we'll go down the road if we need to. But usually that gets me or gets you what you want. And I'll give both those brands some props. They both come out of the package with 15-year out-of-the-box manufacturer warranty. I've got to get reps back on and talk about warranties, because people, I think sometimes have a misconception of what the warranty really means and how it should be implemented, sort of like insurance. You think your policy does one thing, they come out and do another, or it works the way you're thinking. But yeah, it's and what we had? I've had maybe 1 or 2 manufacturer warranty issues, and it was a discoloration. And that was just from all materials are made with machines, and sometimes the machines don't drop the granules like they're supposed to, or the talcum powder, whatever the little powder that keeps them from sticking that's in the packages just doesn't wash off like it's supposed to. And hey, IKO came out, change it. We let it go the certain period. There's rules and things you got to do, but it passed all the rules, and we replaced it, and they paid for it. But that's few and far in between too. So again, that's why what am I protecting you from? What's RTM want to protect you from? The water. And the best way to do it is keep a shingle on your roof to start with. The second way to do it is make sure your gutters are working to flow it away. Third or fourth way to do it is make sure your siding or whether it's hardy, whether it's vinyl, whether it's wood, is up to date. Yeah, and if you got skylights, that's sort of maybe part of the roofing system. But it amazes me how few skylights are in this market, and then it got explained to me because, up north, skylights are huge. Everybody almost has a skylight up north, but they don't have as much warm time as we do. We're outside, I think, more is what someone explained to me. And I said, that makes sense because, like I said, when you go above a certain, I guess it's latitude, there's skylights everywhere. And down here, they're just, like I said, scattered around. But if you've got a dark room that's a little darker, normally you've got more lights in there than a Christmas tree and it's still dark, skylight may be an option. Or sky tunnels. These sky tunnels, it's amazing the amount of light that they let into a home. And I still remember one in Brentwood. It was a huge foyer, like 2 stories up, a big, big room. And it was just, he had can lights up there, and it was so big in that room, it didn't even shine down to the ground hardly, if you know what I mean. It was still dark in the room. We put 2 Velux sky tunnels in there, and man, I think they were the 12-inch. I don't think we even did the 14s, 2 12s, and it lit it up. And on a moon night, like a full moon night, they loved it. They was like, don't even have to turn anything on. So there's options there. Especially if you've moved in from up north and then used to having a lot more light come into your home, call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom, fill out the contact card for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, and home attic insulation needs. I got to say that slow. It sounds like that's not limericks, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever were you tongue twisters. Yeah, it's almost got me there. But yeah, that's if you're from up there and we're Velux certified, we do matter of fact, we do all the warranty repair work for Velux here in Middle Tennessee. And if there's somebody else doing it, I don't know it. And I've never heard it. But yeah, we got called by them because we've been doing skylights for a while. And the biggest part of that is I ran into them, so I had to learn them. Then we taught our crews. We taught our repair people. Yeah, because they can be tricky sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Skylights can be a headache sometimes, but when done right, they're amazing. Much like anything else. When you get it right, it's right. And Velux is one of those. Pretty neat product. Yeah. Well, you're listening to Renovation Nation here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll keep it going somehow. Hang out. We'll see you in 3. Hey, this is Chad Rowland with RTM Roofing. Are you the type of person that takes pride in your home? Let RTM Roofing help with the exterior, with your roof, with your siding, with your soffit, fascia, your gutters, your chimney caps. Home insulation now, too. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom and fill out the contact card. Let RTM Roofing help you get ready for summer. You know what time it is? You know we're back because it's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Well, getting in the groove a little bit today. A lot of stuff going on. Been busy. Hope you've been busy or not. I'll take unbusy for a little bit, little R&R. It just seems like if there's no R&R anymore. So there's always something to, excuse me, I got to pop my ears. These earbuds are messing with me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's always something going on. Well, I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show, because you're listening to Renovation Nation, live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Up here in the Studio 378, the undisclosed location. Sitting here trying to figure out what else I'm going to talk about today. We've talked a lot about IKO. We talked a lot last segment about skylights, or at least about Velux, a little bit of that. And, the think I'll go into a little bit this time of sort of what to expect. Let's say we do get out there. You do call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or you go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out the contact card, and you'll immediately get a schedule within, it's usually really quick, unless we just didn't happen to catch it right there immediately, because it goes right into our system for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, and now home insulation attic needs. We don't do walls. Don't do windows. But what to expect that once you've called us and we've come out, we've done our inspection, we've maybe discovered you got some bad pipe boots, or, hey, it's time for a roof, right? And whether or not it's insurance related or not, what goes on then, right? Because last week I ended up going out and helped field manage one of our jobs, and you know, it's good getting back on your boots on the ground, as I call it, and sitting there and realize that it's invasive, it's loud, it's noisy, loud, messy. But when we left, it looked just like before we got there, except a new roof, which I was very pleased with, which that's what we do, but made me feel good. I'm running the nail magnets and all that. I'm not going to say it's fun. It is fun because that's what we do. But what to expect to be there in the morning. We're going to show up 6:30 to 7 o'clock because it gets hot now. So, or eventually we'll get really hot, but now it's more daylight. We're there between 6:30 and 7. If you want us there a little later, we will, but that just pushes it longer. But nevertheless, and then, you know, you can hang out for a little while. You can hang out all day. You can go out there and put your lawn chair in the yard and watch it if you want. Just, you know, make sure to step back a little bit so we don't get debris on you. But I have to remind people that it looks like a bomb exploded. And I'm sure enough of you have seen a roof being replaced before, but if you haven't, I mean, stuff's going everywhere. And we tarp over all areas so we're not, you know, damaging landscaping and things like that. But at the same point in time, I got my analogy of, you know, we're not heart surgeons. They're not grabbing one shingle, going down the ladder, laying it down and stacking it in a trailer. It's coming off and it's getting thrown off. And I just forgot how much of an explosion it is until you're, you know, at ground zero. And it, you know, and then by lunchtime, 90% is cleaned up. I mean, the roof comes off quick. And then you clean up 90%, and then you start the roofing. And then, you know, pieces are coming off because we're trimming and doing things like that. And then we clean up at the end. But my point I'm getting at is if I'm getting my roof done, I might be there for until about 8 or 9, because by that time the roof's usually off, or at least depending on how big it is and what we're doing that day. You can see if there's any rotten decking because we document everything. But if you want to stay to see that, then great. Then after that, I tell people, go shopping, go out, go do something else, get away. And, you know, it's hard to work from home when there's 8 guys walking on your roof and hammers going off and, you know, all kinds of things. It's pretty invasive. It's sort of the final build of a home, you know, but you're usually not there when the home's being built. So again, I like telling people, get it, you know, once we start, you're more than welcome to be able to stay there all day at your house, but get out, go away, go do something, go have fun. Take the day off. Say you're going to be at your house watching your roof get done. You know, you need to be there. We told you to be there. I'll write you a doctor's note. But yeah, what to expect, you know, expect an early arrival. Expect a mess in the beginning. Expect a lot of noise. And then the taper down, the wind up, the clean up, and then expect to see a new roof on your home. It's great. And then you sleep very peacefully if you wasn't already, because now I'm not going to sleep peacefully because this stain I keep seeing above my head over here that happened this last weekend, because I didn't inspect my roof this year yet. I did last year and everything was good, but that's my point too, that most people don't realize is, I got my roof inspected 3 years ago, or home inspector, we bought it 3 years ago, home inspector said it was great. Well, that's awesome 3 years ago, and they were probably right. But this is 3 years later, And in 1 year, a lot can change, and I'll guarantee you the majority of probably what did it was that super, super cold and what little bit of ice we got out here. Where I'm at, we didn't get as much ice as like the heart of Nashville and as you went westward, that one of those grommets or there's either a grommet has failed or a screw's backed out, because when I walk up to my building, I can see the roof and everything's still there. But that's how easy it is. Oh, it looks good. Oh, yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, I got to say something. I saw a post on Facebook. I think it was Facebook. And I don't know, the hip something, one of the hip wherevers. And somebody was requesting somebody come get, or, you know, they had need some shingles changed, a couple missing shingles or something, and said, now, I don't want a roof price. Don't talk to me about a new roof. I just need these 2 shingles replaced. And I took that. There's 2 ways you can take that. I took it. One is, if it's a brand new roof, he should be calling whoever put it on. But number 2, so let me throw that out. So number 2 would be that he knows roofing. He knows what shape his roof's in. He's been getting inspected yearly, which that's already a misnomer, or he wouldn't have to put it out there, or they wouldn't have to put it out there to ask for somebody, or they didn't like the roofer. But the point being is that, or B, they have no idea what shape their roof's in. They think it's just going to be those 2 shingles. And woe is behold, you get up there and that roof is 15, 16 years old, 17 years old, hasn't been maintained, got missing shingles, and you're going to repair just a couple shingles and it's dead. You're throwing money away. Now, I know it's going to take a lot more money to put a roof on, but it'll take even more by putting a $1,500 transmission in a $500 car. RTM roofing, we don't do it. I know I talked a lot last week about the budget, and we'll help Band-Aid you at times to get you to your budget, but I always preach, well, I say preach, I'm always highly suggesting that don't throw good money at bad. That's part of those things like, you know, don't do as I can't even pull it off right now. But my point is like, don't pull a me and look at your roof and not repair it, and then get a stain on your ceiling, and then get up there and find out it's a dead roof, and you're just throwing good money at bad. I don't know. Did that make sense? It probably didn't, because it even confused me. But I think you get what I'm trying to say here. Is that, yeah, there's no need to throw good money at bad, because in the end, if the roof is shot, if it's DOA, I mean, literally, if it was a car, you'd throw it away, and you put, you know, a couple $100 is one thing, but you start getting to $1,000 or above, or $2,000 or $3,000 worth of repair on that dead car, that dead roof, you're just, when you have to get the new car or new roof, that just costs you more. Take the money that you're going to spend over there and put it on the new. That's the key. Now, that's a perfect world, too. Because, I mean, I can't forget that life happens and, you know, not everything's that easy. But also, RTM Roofing offers financing. So if you can't get it from your bank, or sometimes your bank may give you a better deal, it doesn't matter. But my point is, we offer financing as well. Really simple, really simple. A couple clicks and you know if you're good to go or not. You can read everything, take your time with it and all that stuff, but we offer financing, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Because, you know, I've talked about financing. I hate financing because I was stupid in my 20s. But do I finance things? Yes, there's a few things I do. But if my roof right now just failed, I would be financing it. Because I've saved up enough, but not enough to fully replace it yet, because I'm not there yet, because it's 5 years old. But if my insurance didn't cover it, and it was hail damage, and I'm going to have to replace it, or it's just whatever reason, it's got to be replaced, I'm going to replace it. And if I've got to finance it, I'm going to finance it, because the roof is your number one deal on your home, other than your foundation. I always got to caveat that. If you don't have a foundation, you can't build on anything. You can't build anything without a foundation. But you got to cover what you build in the end. that protects the foundation. And that's actually more the gutters, but you get my point. Yeah, something like that, I think. I think that might have made sense at the end there. If not, well, it's Saturday. Hopefully you're getting a little wet, and hopefully it's going to warm up sooner than later where I can get my tomato plants out again, because the ones I got out now, I shouldn't have done it, but I couldn't help myself. Thought I knew better. And that's what happens. And that's what bit me. Well, actually, it bit them, but that's okay. Well, yeah, you're listening to Renovation Nation live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more. I have no idea what about, so stick around and find out. As the man said, we'll see you in 3.
Hey, this is Chad with RTM Roofing and host of Renovation Nation. RTM Roofing's commercial division is looking for you. Are you a property manager? Do you own the building? Are you the business owner? You tired of leaks? You tired of chasing leaks? Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 or go to rtmroofing.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out the contact card, and let us help you out.
And you know we're back live on Super Talk 99.7, because you know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Yes, it is. As I like to say, every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., right here on the radio dial 99.7 FM out of Nashville, Tennessee. Worldwide with the app. If you get out of town or out of range, get the WTN app. Go to your, I think, I'm an iPhone guy, but I think Android's surely got it. Google Super Talk 997 WTN and get the app on the go. And you can catch all the shows here anytime you want them. And you can also listen online. I actually did that a while back. I was sitting there doing stuff, and I just, instead of going to the radio, I just went online and clicked and sat there and listened to a few shows and, listened about how great the world is. which again reminds me to tell you that price increases are coming. They're coming. And I have a feeling, and I hate being right. I want to prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong that I think we're going to get more than one price increase this year. Then, call me crazy, but it's just when they're made from petroleum, and there's a wild petroleum deal going on in the world. Yeah, and it's interesting what's coming, I think. So even more of a reason to be prepared, so you're already ahead of the game. And that's the first thing to prepare for is where you live. And you can do that by calling RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, and home attic insulation needs. Yeah, and be sure if you missed some of the show today, go to YouTube, type in the symbol a standard conversation, all one word, and this show will be up. I didn't get last week until Wednesday. It was a long story on that one, but I typically have it up between Sunday and Tuesday. Because, me and my vast staff, mix all this down and edit the video and all that, which is, I say vast staff, it's just me. I don't have. But while you're at YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. That way when, we do a lot of, I do a lot of reels out of these shows, the little snippets of stuff I've talked about here, just some pertinent information to just sort of whatever, it's 15 seconds to a minute. So every now and then I'll do some segments I'll put down, but it's pretty neat stuff up there. It's stuff that if you need a quick overview or just a quick picture of something in your head a little bit, that they've been getting a lot of views and a lot of people have been liking them. And hey, we're doing it here. Might as well put it there too, is my opinion. But be sure and subscribe, hit the like button, share, all that stuff. Because it does matter. It does get it out there. And what amazed me, I was doing some of the analytics, and a lot of listeners in the UK, which, how does that help RTM Roofing? It doesn't. But how does that help them and just knowing something about roofing? Something about maybe they didn't know? A lot. And, that's sort of what it's about. And, I'm here to service Middle Tennessee. By the way, that reminds me, RTM Roofing, where do we go? Well, we go, I'll go anywhere in the state, but in reality, Middle Tennessee. We'll go, I'll go to Cookeville to past Dixon, going west and south. I mean, we go down to Lawrenceburg and north, we go all the way to Clarksville. So just draw a big circle in all of what you know is Middle Tennessee. And yeah, we're happy to come see if you got an issue or need a roof inspection or bad gutters, siding, soffit. We've had some winds. We've had some little bit of crazy weather. I think this coming week, if the map's still showing what it's showing, is looking like Tuesday is going to be early Tuesday or late Tuesday, a little bit of both. It's going to be an interesting evening, which I hate it when it comes at night like that. But then it's rain Wednesday, Thursday. We're in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70%. I'm sitting there just looking at where I like to watch my weather from. And, yeah, it's going to be wet, latter part of next week. I don't know how far it goes past that. It's not giving me every bit of what I really want to see right now. But I can tell you it's going to be wet. And if you have an issue, and if you can get in your attic, put a bucket under it. If you find a leak or something going on, mitigate your damages. But other than that, now's a good time to be calling RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751, 500-0751, or go to rtmroofing.com for all your roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, and skylight needs. And, in-home attic insulation needs. I got to remember to keep going on that. Well, we covered a little bit of stuff. I guess I need to remind you, too, that RTM Roofing this year, we're doing 15% off for all first responders. And what do I mean by that? I mean military, retired, active. That's National Guard. That's Coast Guard. That's from A to Z when I say military. Active or retired Gold Star families, 15% off. Right off top, any retail job. If you're over 62, 15% off. If you're a hospital worker, a nurse, a paramedic, the janitor, and, growing up in school, everybody always made fun of the janitor. Janitors do have a daggum important job. They really do. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up. It always irked me when I see movies at times and they're always making fun of janitors. I'm like, janitor's usually the smartest one of the bunch. From what I remember, they see all, hear all, know all. You get 15% off. What else we got? I think that's about it. Yeah. And then everybody else, it's 10% off. That's the way RTM Roofing gives back. Because nowadays, with the way this crazy world is, I like to know where my money goes. And when I like to give back, I like to know where it goes to make sure it gets to the end user like it should. And that's what we do for any RTM Roofing client. And that's for everything: roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, chimney caps, skylights, home attic insulation. Yeah, 15% off. That's a lot. I'm more of a, I say volume guy, but we do enough work I can do that and help people out. Now, I like doing less work, quality over quantity, but the quantity side of this is we do touch a lot of people. A lot of people do call RTM Roofing every year. A lot of people that listen to this station call RTM Roofing. And I really, all at RTM Roofing appreciate that. And we try to uphold our end of the bargain as well. That's the deal, right? You got a problem, you call us, we figure it out, we fix it, you pay us, everybody's good. That's the goal. Do good work. It's not inexpensive. And that's the thing about roofing. It's protecting what I dare say is most people's biggest asset. If you don't have a 401k stashed back somewhere or multiple investments or something else, your home's your biggest asset that's appreciating. And the roof is one of the biggest things that helps appreciate that value, because without it, I'm going to keep always saying in my head, like I always say, you can't get a mortgage without a roof. If there's not a roof on that building, you're not getting a mortgage on it. It's not going to happen. Then you can get loans, you can get lines of credit, you can get whatever else, but it's not going to be a traditional FFA, whatever, 30-year, or well, they got 50 years now or something they said, or I remember hearing about that. That's just insane. But what do you expect when a starter home's $350 now or $400? But yeah, it's it's that time of year. Don't let it catch you like it caught me this last weekend. I'm gonna look up at my ceiling again. I'm just shaking. I just noticed that. Well, I noticed it last night, but it's eating at me today. Because I'm sitting here preaching about, get it inspected before it happens to you. And yeah, I just didn't look at mine. But also, that's what I do during the day. Hey, go to a mechanic's house. He's got a lot of cars in the yard that need working on, because he works on them all day long and doesn't want to do it when he gets home. But anyway, hope everybody's had a great Saturday. Thank you for listening. Catch us on YouTube, Add a Standard Conversation. Catch some of the old shows. Catch this show here in a few days if you missed it. Yeah. Have fun today. Enjoy some time off if your day's off today. Take the time to enjoy it. That's the secret. Pay me later. Otherwise, we'll be seeing you next week right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. See ya.
Thanks for watching Renovation Nation. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share button.